Gainza.
All right, so Munoz 10-9 in TBL, 2 wins over Mauricio King in his last outing. Gainza,
Saludos mi gente. Y estamos aquí en vivo y directo con boxeo profesional con Juan Sabelo Todo Deporte. Con eso dicho, vamos una vez al deporte, que estamos tarde. Y tenemos a Ángeles Muñoz peleando para los Ángeles y Lete. Y tenemos a Dislan García de los Las Vegas Hustle. Tenemos dos equipos que lo hemos visto boxeando en otras ocasiones contra otros equipos y sabemos que son fuertes los dos. So, esperemos que vamos a tener una noche de boxeo. ¡Ah! ¡Eso es! ¡Knockout! ¡Knockout! ¡Knockout, mi gente! ¡Knockout! El hombre se paró tan rápido que yo dije, ¿qué pasó? ¿Rebaló? Anyway, hasta ahora está 3-3. Los Ángeles y Lete están en 3 y los Las Vegas Hustle también tienen 3. Son 3 puntos y 3 puntos. Están parejitos. Se esperaba eso de que estuvieran parejitos porque son dos buenos equipos de boxeo. Y vamos a ver lo que la noche nos trae. Ya nos dio nuestro primer knockout, que yo sepa, porque no vi los primeros 5 rounds, mi gente. Los primeros 6 rounds no lo vi.
Achilles heel so far for Gainza.
Sabemos ya que con los knockouts en equipo boxeo son 2 puntos. 2 puntos. En este caso, Ángeles Muñoz es el que tiene esos 2 puntos por ahora. Se puede dar donde, por ejemplo, Dislan le bloquea a él, entonces ya ahí tienen un punto parejo y después depende quién gane el round. Muy pocas veces se ha dado eso, yo no lo he visto ni una sola vez, pero sí se ha dado.
Now, Gainza has really won most of this round, but that knockdown is looming large.
And the interesting thing is, it just, if you control around and get dropped, it really should even out. I don't think we've seen that this year.
No.
You know, all the times that we fight, you know, no matter what it looks like, in practicality, the knockdown has almost automatically vaulted that team to 2.
The Gainza winning streak looks in jeopardy.
Y tenemos 17 segundos en el reloj. Casi le dan la notificación de los 10 segundos.
A little more aggressive after the knockdown, but
y ahí sonó la notificación de los 10 segundos.
Yeah, he knows he's got that to play with, and he had been hit with a couple left hands that looked like it stunned him early.
So will Munoz continue to be the hex on Gainza?
Well, there was one seminal moment in that round, and Munoz lands a left hand somewhere. I can't even tell. It's hard to tell where it landed, but it put Gainza down. And, you know, Gainza did...
Okay. Yo estaba buscando y a dónde fue que le dio y fue que le metió un izquierdazo en la quijada.
He went down.
Hey.
I mean, his gloves hit.
Yeah.
And he was hit near the head.
Fue en la quijada, fue ahí que le dio. Esa trompa siempre ahí en la quijada es como que manda electricidad para el cuerpo.
2 points going to the LA Elite, Angel Munoz.
All right, so in our round to watch, we watch our first extra point awarded.
Our final launch round will be in the heavyweight division.
Y tenemos las bellas de ring, como ustedes pueden ver ahí.
Las Vegas Alonzo Neal.
Mailata, a member of the Dallas Enforcers last year, after roughly a year off, went back into action this year, got a decision victory and then a stoppage amid that carnage that LA enjoyed against Dallas.
Yeah, Alonzo Neal, who's trained by Stephen Edwards, Breadman Edwards, who is one in boxing outside of TBL, who's one of the fine trainers in boxing and a great commentator as well and writer. And he's a very solid heavyweight who, you know, is.
Vamos a ver, tenemos ahora mismo el peso pesado. Ustedes saben, como yo siempre le he dicho, que el peso pesado no se mueva para ningún lado, porque puede pasar cualquier cosa. Como pueden ver, estos dos boxeadores están metiéndole con todo. Puede pasar cualquier cosa aquí, no se vayan, que en una fracción de un segundo, hasta así cuando yo estoy hablando con ustedes, yo estoy miro para la pantalla, miro la cámara y cuando viene a ver ya pasó el palé. Ya te saben, mi gente, no se vayan para ningún lado en este momento, que esto está, ya te sabes, como de caliente. ¡Oh! ¡Qué izquierda! Tremenda izquierda. Y podamos ver aquí a Patrick, Malata y Alonso Neal, que están aquí en este pleito del día de hoy. Y tenemos a los Ángeles con los guantes cinta azul, mi gente. Cinta azul y cinta roja para Alonso Neal. Patrick Malata está en los guantes cinta azul. Estamos en el octavo round porque se produjo un knockout en el round anterior. Fueron 2 puntos, se le fue en adelante por 2 puntos Los Ángeles Gilete a los Las Vegas Hustle. Nos queda aquí menos de 1 minuto y 10 segundos en el reloj.
Alonzo Neal has a good right hand. He hasn't quite been able to get it through tonight. The left hook of Mailita has been better, and he's landed some power shots in that regard.
Está en bastante activo. Vamos a ver lo que sale de esto, mi gente. Buena derecha. Buena derecha por Patrick Malata.
Earlier this year that he lost, but it was so much fun. He can be in some brawls, and there's my lead.
Le tiró una combinación de 3 puños, cual pegó una izquierda y un derechazo. El tercero dio en el guante.
Absolutely.
We think of
está usando el estilo de George Foreman ahí.
Kai Brooks with his 8-point night
early in the season. Veletich against Conja Nathan.
Le dio un tapón de boca, como ustedes pudieron ver ahí.
Some big power punches in this round. Alonzo Neal showed a great chin, I think, by not being hurt or going down with them. Mailita did some great work at the beginning of the round. That was toward the beginning, and the left hook was a staple for him during the course of that round, and added a right hand late, but he landed most of the big power punches, I think, that got in during this round. We'll see what the judges think.
TBL fans, the winner of round 8 by way of unanimous decision from the LA Elite, Patrick Mailata.
Y los Elite se llevan esa ganada para subirle la puntuación a 6-3 al favor de Ilete. Ahí vienen ya los anuncios, ustedes ya conocen lo que tengo que hacer aquí.
Luces bajas, el ring encendido. Se siente el peso de lo vivido. esta noche es pelea, la arena va a temblar. Dos esquinas listas, nadie se va a rajar. Guantes al aire, se siente la tensión. Es guerra en el ring, pura determinación. Desde la campana suena el primer round. Golpes como truenos retumbando en el ground. Sangre, sudor, respeto en cada acción. Orgullo en juego, corazón de campeón. Respira hondo, siente el tambor. Late más fuerte dentro del corazón. No hay vuelta atrás, no hay condición. Aquí se prueba quién tiene valor. Esto no es un juego, esto es boxeo real, donde el alma grita y no existe lo normal. Golpe tras golpe, rompiendo el dolor, cayendo y subiendo con fuego interior. Esto no es un juego, esto es una lucha sin fin, donde el miedo muere cuando entras al ring. Sudor en la frente, mirada feroz, solo uno se queda escuchando la voz de la gloria eterna, llamando tu nombre, dejando tu historia grabada en los hombres. JuanSabeloTodo Deportes, presente en la acción, sintiendo cada golpe dentro del corazón. Round tras round la historia se escribe, cada golpe dado es prueba de lo que vive. Caer y levantarse, esa es la misión. El ring decide quién tiene el corazón. Mirada fija, nadie quiere caer. El público grita, se siente el poder. No hay distracciones, solo conexión entre mente, cuerpo y determinación. Siente el silencio antes del final. Un último golpe puede decidir más. No hay rendición, no hay marcha atrás, solo el más fuerte se va a quedar. Esto no es un juego, esto es boxeo real, donde el alma grita y no existe lo normal. Golpe tras golpe, rompiendo el dolor, cayendo y subiendo con fuego interior. Esto no es un juego, esto es lucha sin fin, donde el miedo muere cuando entras al ring. Sudor en la frente, mirada feroz, solo uno se queda escuchando la voz de la gloria eterna, llamando tu nombre, dejando tu historia grabada en los hombres. JuanSabeloTodo Deportes, presente en la acción, sintiendo cada golpe dentro del corazón. En la lona o de pie, se define quién eres. No es fuerza solamente, es lo que tú quieres. Dolor en el cuerpo, pero firme la fe. El campeón verdadero nunca deja de creer.
So this season, the women's side of TBL seems to be getting much deeper. And it's really competitive. I mean, especially in your weight class, the featherweight division. Guess kind of like a question. Do you see that growth? Like, what do you think is driving that growth? And do you see it reflecting elsewhere in women's boxing, like outside of TBL?
Yeah, I was actually just gonna say that. I think it's reflecting outside of, TBL as well. It's like, I was having a conversation with somebody the other day, and we were talking about how sometimes women like fight a lot harder than the men. Sometimes the fights are a lot more interesting, and I don't know what it is that we just, we put our all into it. But yeah, I see the growth in not only TBL, but in women's sports.
It was something I saw right away at the beginning of the season. I was like, oh my gosh, you moved down. Like, how was that experience? You've seen, you were fantastic, and like, you were very competitive at 140, but now it's like you're at the top, and I feel like that. How does that, how has that adjustment been for you?
It's funny you asked that. I actually love fighting taller fighters. I really do.
That overhand.
Yeah. How'd you know? No, absolutely, and I think I am seeing the difference, within the weight class change. I do feel stronger in this weight class. And it's kind of, it is validating to see, like how I've, I was at, number one this year, and last year I don't even think I was, but I was still, maybe somewhere in the brackets. I'm not really sure. I try not to pay attention to it, just because, I try to take it one fight at a time. But the adjustment, I can't say it was the easiest, anything to do with that, it takes time and a lot of energy, and discipline. So, It's been a great journey, I would say.
With you being a top seed in your weight class, is there anybody that you haven't fought yet that you really want to?
Well, today I get to fight, I mean, this time around I get to fight Florencia, I believe.
Britos, yeah.
Yeah. So I've never fought her. I think last year we were supposed to fight in the 140 weight category. I'm not sure what happened, but I'm looking forward to that. You know, I love different styles. Miss Ellis, right? She's in the top as well in my weight class. So I'm hoping, you know, we can fight this coming year, for anything. That'd be so cool.
She's like, I'm ready.
You know?
I'm ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. I love a challenge. Yeah, I love a challenge. I just put in whoever you would like. You know, like I'm up for anything. I think it showed in last year too. You know, like I was really up to fight anybody.
Okay, thank you, Amelia. We'll see Erica Sanchez in the money rounds, and I always wonder how can someone so nice be so ruthless. Very nice on camera, then all those body shots. We'll see her in there. And now the round to watch. Here's one out. We did a double take. Terrell Gachet, Arizlandi Lara, Austin Trout. We go back calling his fights in those days, and now here he is in TBL.
Yeah, against Adriel Holmes in round 13. A couple of guys who were contenders, have been contenders in the 154-pound division and could have met each other at any point in the last 6 or 7 years, and they didn't, and now they meet each other in team boxing leagues. So this is a fascinating matchup of two veterans. The debut for Gachet. Adriel Holmes has only had one night in TBL. It should be interesting.
Maybe a debut in name only. We'll find out. Let's take it back inside the ring and continue the action.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to begin the middle rounds between the LA Elite and Las Vegas Hustle. Round 9 at featherweight, LA Lizette Lopez, Las Vegas Florencia Britos.
Lopez, we heard from her earlier in the show. 6-fight win streak, has a split with Azariah Cottrell. Now, when we've seen Cottrell come on, that made Lopez look even better. And then beat Brenda Cardenas and Montserrat Correa, both who had winning records.
And, you know, Britos, who is 26-14 in team boxing, having maybe a little down year. She's 4-7 this year, but her last time out, she beat Kellyanne Knight. This 27-year-old is a very solid fighter. And tonight she's going to go through the gauntlet with Lizette Lopez and Erica Sanchez.
A battle of TBL pioneers.
Yes. All 4 years.
I always make the thought right away first that how good you have to be just to stay around for 4 years with the talent evolving and improving. And we've got quality fighters here.
And you know, the onus was on the Las Vegas women to produce a few wins here to not be overrun in that portion by LA, and they already have produced one with Castaneda. Flo Britos is trying to duplicate that.
And when you look at points you might try to steal if you're the coaches, that's one area. Farias getting a win over Luamaru was a plus for LA, being that was a reversal. And so here we are, just like the first time they fought. LA with a lead in the middle rounds against Vegas.
Britos switches a lot from lefty to righty, and she's been doing that. And there is, from the lefty stance, lands a really nice jab. And to some degree, it may be keeping Lopez a little off balance, although Lopez has done some good offensive work also. It's been a pretty close round.
Yeah, it's cagey and scientific as they try He tries to lure the other one into a mistake.
Estamos ahora mismo en ya debajo de 40 segundos. Estas dos mujeres
30
no han dejado de
seconds to
tirar
go.
trompas. Vamos
There's
a
a
ver.
point to steal for somebody.
El entrenador le dijo, ya quedan 30 segundos.
Both women have landed
Vamos a
some
ver,
pretty
están
good shots.
lanzando bombas.
Brito's being very aggressive here in this latter
Vamos a ver,
portion.
están en los
Good
últimos 30
right
segundos y
hook.
fue como que le
Lopez had
prendieron batería nueva. Y ahora suena el aviso de 10 segundos. Vamos a ver lo que sale de este boxeo. Y ya va a sonar la campana, mi gente.
All right, so the explosion that looked like it might happen in this round didn't quite do it. So we'll go to the scorecard, see how the judges have it. They're very happy. Valencia Britos, we'll see if she's happy soon.
This was that portion at the end of the round where Britos came forward. Not everything landed, but she was very aggressive, did some good offensive work. She landed a right hook, so did Lopez. And you see there some of the defensive skills of Britos as she fought her way out of that corner. Two 27-year-olds that had an interesting round.
TBL fans, the winner of round 9 by way of split decision. From Las Vegas, Valencia Britos.
Yeah, so that smile was a premonition for her. She was right.
Ustedes vieron ahí. Los Las Vegas
Round 10 at featherweight, LA.
Y entran Las Vegas del ring con el número 10, round número 10 para su público local de allá.
A rematch of a fight we saw earlier on. Win for Brewer.
And Brewer telling us how he used his height and reach in that round. And the question will be, can he do it again?
The figure coming out. You're Brewer. You want more of the same. Until Argalagos can take it away from you.
Argalagos is an interesting guy in that he is very much a boxer, puncher, but he's not the kind of fighter that will get on the inside and just go after you. And against some of these taller opponents that he's faced in TBL this season, he's had the same problem where he's at distance and not able to land his punches as well as he would like.
Some key numbers there on Brewer, now running a 5-fight win streak. Total net points are up. And the TBL record up to 13-10. He's on a good run right now.
Yeah, he's really settling in well. Now there's the overhand right by Argalagos. He has a good one. And I think he just doesn't throw it enough. For some reason, he doesn't get that punch untracked as much as he would like.
Brewer consistently starting everything off with the jab. It's helped him with his balance and to avoid some of the shots coming back, which just missed.
You know, Argalagos has been better offensively in this round, and there he lands a couple of nice left hooks after a right hand. And you can't deny that he's blocked a lot of those punches that Brewer throws in those combinations, but has he done enough? And for the first time, we see Argalagos go lefty momentarily.
It did help him sneak over the top of the right hand. He goes back to righty and lands a looping shot. And now, something you were talking about earlier about the height and reach for Brewer. Look how far that right hand had to go to get in.
And Argalagos has changed the tenor of this round a little bit. And he's blocking most of the shots by Brewer against the gloves, so he gets defensive. You know, they're not gonna, they shouldn't be scoring punches.
You saw Brewer also try to take advantage of what would be a natural shot for him here, the uppercut. Well, they were blocked, but at least by him showing it, Argalagos has to be concerned about it, not just recklessly walk in. Boy, this is interesting, because there's a sneaky right hand by Argalagos with some hand speed he hadn't shown earlier.
Yeah, and being more aggressive. Different tenor to this round. Was it enough of a difference for Argalagos to get the win? It might be, and he thinks it is. And Argalagos, you know, he's 9-2-1 in the pro ranks, an Olympic bronze medalist, but has struggled a bit in TBL, and gets an overhand right and a straight left hand in that sequence. And he had some good activity offensively in that round.
TBL fans, the winner of round 10 by way of split decision. From Las Vegas, Johannes Argalagos. The score, LA 6, Las Vegas.
So Argalagos rewarded for that hustle.
At super lightweight, LA Erica Barrias. Las Vegas, Joanna Wamaru.
All right, let's see what adjustments we have in this one. Farias won their first encounter back in the launch rounds. Tactical battle for both. I think for Nwamaru, it might pay her to be more aggressive and just throw her ears back, at least for a while in this one.
And a point, she's facing a 41-year-old who has had a lot of experience, but some tread on the tires. And will the second time around, will she be as effective as she was in the first fight? I mean, obviously she's a proven champion, a great fighter who's fought great women like Cecilia Brækhus, Jessica McCaskill, even Michaela Meyer, but you know, she has to gear it up here again a second time. Good jab by Farias.
A minute in, Farias sharp with the last couple of jabs that she has thrown in there.
Yeah, Nwamaru also has a good jab and a good straight right hand. They have similar weapons that they use. And Nwamaru right hand now getting in a little bit more. She's a fascinating woman. Ran a nightclub in Sofia, Bulgaria. A stunt woman, an actress. She's, you know, really intriguing. And we've had a couple of good interviews with her this season.
Yeah, it used to set up fights in the prisons. And hey, can you get me a non-punching opponent? yeah, and also yeah, very personable. So knows how to try to market things. She understands the bottom line.
And her and Farias are going at it in this round. They have had good exchanges in the last 40 seconds. We've had 2 straight split decisions, and I don't know that we're not headed toward another one. Both women doing good work. Again, the right hand gets in by Farias, and Nwamaru has landed several of those as well.
Yeah, and you know, the gambling part of it, at some point, you have to take the risk, hope to get the big shot in. Nwamaru is throwing some hard right hands, but from just a little far out.
You know, this is a fight where the vast experience of Farias might be helping her. You know, she has just been in this sport for so long. She knows everything about it. Nwamaru, a little bit less, certainly less experience, even though she's a solid fighter, might be the difference in this.
You could see Farias getting off first. And Nwamaru, when she tries to load up, just about 6 inches to a foot further away than she would have liked to have been. But let's see how the judges have it. They both think they put in the effort to get the call. It was close the first time.
Vamos a ver lo que salió aquí.
The jab of Farias, they're setting up the right hand. Both women using that jab and right hand a lot. There's Naramaru with the right hand, and they both landed that punch on occasion very, very well. That was that action sequence toward the end of the round between the two. And Farias is sneaking another right hand in. And there's an indication of what Dave pointed out, the Naramaru right a little short.
TBL fans, the winner of round 11 by way of unanimous decision. From LA, Erica Barrias. The score, LA 7, Las Vegas 5.
Los Ángeles y
Round 12 at welterweight, LA, Jose Chalet. Las Vegas, Dariana Castro.
All right. Very good one here. Chalet, 6-2 outside of TBL, 3-2 with 3 straight wins here. Wins over Kyle Walden and Deontay Brown. That says a lot. Darian Castro, 31-6. TBL win streak of 5. And he has a win over Javon Davis, who was 31-12 at that time.
Yeah, he's a solid fighter. Now, he beat Chalet early in the season when they fought each other, and he would love to repeat that. And of course, Chalet, who has had a solid season, as you point out, would love to turn that around.
Castro has had winning streaks of 9 and 7. When he loses, he gets right back up and starts another streak.
Yeah, Chalet lost his first 2 fights in TBL, but then put that 3-fight win streak together, and he's hoping he can reverse that loss. And Castro, part of what we've talked about, the 23-year-old, solid lefty from Cuba, who brings all that Cuban amateur experience in, and has been such an effective fighter in TBL.
A pretty significant sequence in the overall match here, with LA up 2, with Vegas having Castro here, also Johanna Martinez, who has been one of the stalwarts, and also Hyrick Ruiz lined up in the middle rounds. So possible chance for Vegas to make a run.
Chalet has been in the pocket with him. He hasn't been able to, neither fighter has been able to really land a lot of offense. The left hand's been short for Castro. We saw Castro, of course, with that devastating knockout win over Adonis Wilkins. That came with his right hook, which is also a good weapon.
He's trying to get close enough to uncork something big.
And there is that right hook. He just threw it. It's a really sneaky punch. People are so conscious of his left, which you expect as a lefty, but there's the hook again. It comes, not every lefty, right, has a good right hook.
Yeah. And also, as you said, a sneaky right hook.
Yeah, you're really looking for that left hand because he's throwing it. So Chalet has been hit with it a couple times, but not a big, powerful one. And Chalet's looking for a straight right to get in, but he's been unable to really get that punch off effectively. There's a couple of short chopping rights on the inside.
And Castro is consistently getting off first. So he's dictating the tempo.
And there's that hook right after he landed some good straight left hands.
And I love this movement too, as he went straight ahead and then moved to the right.
Well, that right hook snuck in there, and here he would uncork another one as he gets Chalet against the ropes. And there's the hook again, making an entrance for Castro. And he'll finish off this combination with it. Two of them at the end were very effective. So pretty good round for Castro.
Love that half step
fans, the winner of round 12 by way of unanimous decision. From the Las Vegas Hustle, Darian Castro. The score, LA is 7.
So Darian Castro pulls Las Vegas within 1. The beauty, the drive up to Utah.
Donde el miedo muere cuando entras al ring, sudor en la frente, mirada feroz, solo uno se queda escuchando la voz de la gloria eterna llamando tu nombre, dejando tu historia grabada en los hombres. Juan Sabelo todo deportes presente en la acción, sintiendo cada golpe dentro del corazón. En la lona o de pie se define quién eres, no fuerza solamente lo que tú quieres, dolor en el cuerpo pero firme la fe, el campeón verdadero nunca deja de creer. Boxeo, JuanSabeloTodoUniverso. La campana suena, termina el combate, pero el nombre queda, nadie lo borra, late en cada historia, en cada campeón. JuanSabeloTodoUniverso. Vive en el ring, vive la canción. Yeah, boxeo, Juan Sabelo.
Shame. Las Vegas Arterial Holmes Jr.
Our round to watch for reasons we pointed out. Not always the competitive aspect of who's fighting whom, but in some cases it's where they've been. And the journey here makes this one very compelling.
Yeah, 38-year-old Gachet, who fought only 2 years ago for the middleweight championship, and they're fighting here at 160, even though both men have been top 154 pounders, but they're fighting in the TBL at 160. And Adriel Holmes, who lost to Erickson Lubin, was 1 win away from having a world title match. Gachet has fought so many top 154 pounders like Tim Tszyu and Erickson Lubin and Lara. And Adriel Holmes, I mentioned his fight with Erickson Lubin, so they're both names in that division.
It's like watching a top 10 battle.
Yes.
And all condensed into one round with the urgency. It's a great hybrid.
Yeah, and neither of these fighters are urgent fighters. They're fighters that work through a fight. So we'll see who can. Holmes in his debut split, winning one and losing one a couple of weeks ago. And so he got his feet wet in team boxing, and he's landing some nice combinations early against Gachet. Holmes, the pride of Flint, Michigan. Gachet originally from Cleveland, so a couple of Midwesterners. Gachet has a very good straight right hand. It knocked Tim Tszyu down when he fought him. And he'll try to get that punch in here.
Here's Gachet trying to get in tight. Holmes using the lateral movement.
Yeah, this is the way Adriel Holmes fights. Clash of heads, it looks
Heads
like.
came together, and it's looks nasty. I hope they can contain it. They'll give you some time. They'll read the body language.
That had a big impact on Adriel Holmes. In a round, he has been, for the most part, controlling with his hand speed and the jab and his movement. Gachet has not been able to corner him.
What's worse than a painful headbutt? The referee comes in and says, keep it clean, guys.
Yeah, right.
He didn't even identify the guilty party.
Yeah. You know, Gachet has fought at 160 his last several fights. Holmes has just moved up to 160 for the TBL. So Gachet a little more comfortable with this weight. Oh my, right hook, that might have been a knockdown.
It is. He walked right into it. Trying to plead his case that it isn't, but that's a big development for Adriel Holmes. And this is 10 seconds away from probably putting Las Vegas in the lead.
Adriel Holmes not known as a knockout or knockdown puncher, but he did land a nice right hook that put Gachet off balance. And then round that Holmes was controlling in any case. His mission is to stay upright now for the rest of this round.
Now a round to watch.
A lot of drama in that round, and it began with a clash of heads that really impacted Adriel Holmes a little more. Gachet had his head down when they clashed heads. And then, well, they did tangle their feet a little bit, but there was a right hook in there from, and Gachet's actually claiming a clash of heads is what caused that knockdown. So a lot to unpack there.
Fans, the winner of round 13 by way of unanimous decision. 2 points going to the Las Vegas Hustles, Adriel Holmes Jr.
All right, so the lead
round
now
14
for Vegas.
Light heavyweight, LA Angel Lozano. Las Vegas, your Chandler Martinez.
Oh, this is a real good one here. Lozano 8-1 outside of TBL from 2021 to 2026. Just had his first loss there. Previously does have a loss to Martinez here, 30-year-old from Pomona, California. And Martinez 8-1 beat Lozano in his debut way back when he started. 2 wins then over Jesse Hart and Raiko Santana.
Yeah, and Lozano, you know, he's 0-7 this season, so he really needs to get a win here, and hopes he can do that against a man who has performed extremely well. You mentioned those wins over Hart, and he split 2 fights, the fights with Santana, and you know, he's got the experience of having beat Lozano once before, so it's a little bit of an uphill swing for Lozano. We'll see if he can do it.
So we see Martinez and Lozano here, and Sophia has a special interview with Erica Sanchez.
And here with Erica Sanchez of LA Elite. Now, you are on a winning streak. Do you feel any pressure coming in to keep that undefeated streak?
No, absolutely not. I think the objective stays the same. You know, every round, every fight, every single time I jump in there, the same objective every single time.
Now, knowing that what you do inside the ring impacts the team as a whole, does that bring more pressure?
Not necessarily, but, you know, I do want to do the best for the team. You know, I go out there and try to do my best, you know. So I try to put the team first, you know.
Well, you look very cool, calm, and collective. Can't wait to see you get back in there. We're going to send it back to you guys.
Okay, the Alejandro Martinez trying to give Vegas a cushion, and Angel Lozano saying, not so fast, I want to bring the lead back to LA.
Yeah, Lozano has been pushing forward, throwing right hands. Some are getting close. He landed 1. And now switching to lefty is Martinez. And why wouldn't you fight as a lefty if you fight for Las Vegas, right?
I think that's on the, when you look at the eligibility requirements on the application, you look in there, special preference, you can be a crafty southpaw.
Yeah, it's almost mandatory that occasionally you do it. And Lozano has, you know, he's attacked in a kind of a linear, straightforward way that sometimes has worked. Good jab and left hook by Martinez, who's a very slick operator in there.
And he's been among the point leaders in his division.
Lozano working hard on the inside. This has not been a thoroughly dominant round for Martinez, even though he probably seems like he's got an edge here. Over 200 amateur fights for Martinez coming up in Cuba. A nice overhand right by Martinez.
And he has been a great find for Vegas this year. His development has been one of the terrific stories for this team.
And he may be putting a punctuation mark on this, exclamation mark, I should say, on this round with good offense in the last 30 seconds of it. And some testy words between the two.
Will Martinez give Vegas a 2-point edge?
Well, you talked about this little run as we looked at who the personnel fighting, and it has turned out that way. Las Vegas has had a push here with a surprising knockdown by Adriel Holmes. That was a bonus for them.
Yeah, the bonus there. We talked about Martinez and Heinrich Ruiz. He's going to complete these rounds.
Decision. From Las Vegas, your Chandler Martinez. The score, Las Vegas 9, LA 7. Round 15 at cruiserweight, LA 1, Higuera. Las Vegas, Luis Portuondo.
The Juan Higuera trying to get off the schneid for LA has lost 7 in a row, but his last win was over the man he's facing right here.
Exactly.
So that's out the window for him.
Yeah, he did beat Portuondo before. Now, the last time out, Portuondo, who's one of the few right-handed Cubans, along with Martinez on the Vegas team, who's 5-3 this season, he split the last time out with Money Powell. He lost a split decision, I should say, to Money Powell in a very close fight.
And he also has 2 wins over Charles Pugh, who was such a force last year. As you take a look at the cruiserweight, it's a very good division here with Leachman, Adrian Taylor, who came down, and Money Powell and Portuondo right in the heart of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And Portuondo, it's funny. He fights with a completely different style than all the other Cubans on this team, and what we think of as the Cuban style. He comes forward, cranks up left hooks. He's got a more short, stocky build, so he's very different now. Right now, Higuera is doing a pretty good job of getting his punches off and getting to Portuondo as he comes in, using his height and reach. Higuera is.
And there's a good hook by Portuondo when he was able to slip the jab.
This round's going to depend on whether Higuera can land more jabs and straight right hands from the outside, or can Portuondo work his way in and crank up that left hook to the body and the head.
And that has been the outline. When you're looking at the styles, it has been exactly that. And there's one of the potential difference makers, a right hand for Portuondo.
Yeah, overhand right. That's what he'll land as opposed to the straight right by Higuera. It's been a good matchup here in this round.
It really has, and you can throw streaks out the window if you think you're good enough to start over again, which a lot of these fighters are. You get one going, and now you're halfway to a streak yourself.
There was Portuondo in a position to do good offensive work, and he did some, but Higuera did a great job of kind of holding him and saying, all right, I don't want this action in here. I want to reset. And you're right. Here's Higuera coming in. The numbers don't favor him, and yet he's had a pretty nice round here. Even though Portuondo's certainly done some good work as well. Good uppercut by Higuera.
Again, it's fought with the confidence of someone sensing that he has the other guy's number.
Yeah, good uppercut and right hand by Portuondo, but you're right. He knows he can get in there, like Munoz also with his opponents tonight. Good work by both men on the inside here. Portuondo, nice right. Wow, that's a good punch by him.
And right near the bell, which we have seen, is significant in scoring.
That round, yes, is a fascinating one. There's Portuondo working the room. This is a round that is going to be interesting. That last right hand and a little bit of the offensive action from Portuondo, does that negate some of what Higuera did earlier in the round? There's Higuera working on the inside. Good jab by Portuondo, and he did good work early. Then, once Portuondo got on the inside, and there's a sequence where he did it, and there's good work by him. This was toward the end of the round. He did some really good work and sneaks in the right hand. So, and they're on the inside. When they are on the inside, Portuondo was very effective. So we'll see.
TBL fans, the winner of round 15 by way of unanimous decision. From the Las Vegas hustle, Luis Portuondo.
He was the heavier puncher, and he gets rewarded after a very good round for both fighters.
Our final middle round will be in the heavyweight division.
Este va a ser el round en el medio de último. Como veamos las bellas pasando con el letrero 16. Este peso pesado, mi gente.
A lot of attention on Philly is unbeaten, and Miami is having a great season. Las Vegas is very quietly over 2 seasons gone 13-1.
Yeah, had they not had their troubles in the playoffs last year, right? They were rolling. And you're right. When you think of that, that's pretty extraordinary.
Unbeaten season. They're lights out right now.
This is a fascinating matchup. Ruiz, again, a left-handed Cuban. He's 5-2 this year. He's 16-5 in TBL. He's a very solid fighter. And Jonathan Rice having a really good debut season at 5-2. He's, he's a good power puncher. He knocked out Andres Montoya, so this is a good matchup.
And interesting for Rice, a step up. So I'd like to see how he performs. His first opponent with a winning record.
Yes.
Vamos a ver, el equipo le está boceando ahí para animar.
This is a guy who we've seen him evolve and mature over the course of the season.
Mi gente, perdón.
Ruiz, interestingly, when they fought against LA, he was knocked down by Jason Beauchamp, who was in the heavyweights at that moment for LA.
They talk about team depth. The first time they fought, Brooks had 8 points for Vegas. Nwamaru had 2. Tonight she's got none. And Brooks isn't fighting. And yet this team is still ahead in this matchup.
That's a really interesting point, yeah. It's been a very tactical round. This is more heavyweightish than we see in ours, although at any moment it can erupt.
So, with these fighters, LA still figuring out who's going to be their big fighter in that position.
Yes.
Whenever the playoffs happen, we've seen DeWaco, we've seen Rice here, we've got Mailata. There's an open call for the big guys.
And right now in this part of the season, we see that with a lot of teams where they're trying to figure out, not so much Vegas. And Justin made the point last week, and you've said it, teams with the consistent rosters do well when they can keep their fighters together and have consistency.
Wow, ni cuánta corredera, ven, esto sí, esto me aburre.
Different
corredera, peleen.
We're seeing it here. We're somebody that we did our power rankings.
And the thing is that, y la cosa es que él piensa que está bolseando, lo que está corriendo como una gallina arriba de arriba.
For Vegas, and he's done that to this point.
Es obvio que le tiene miedo.
Very close round. I don't know who's winning this round, honestly. Here comes Rice pushing forward. got in a couple of shots, and this is going to be a tough one for the judges to figure out.
Yeah, because you've got looping bigger shots from Rice, and you've got Ruiz kind of sneaky on the inside.
Dime lo que dio Aqua arriba ese ring.
Actually, this is a big call.
It is.
For Los Angeles.
Ahí lo que están supuestos hacer los jueces, dárselo a del azul que estaba trabajando. Quitárselo automáticamente por la corredera de gallina que tiene el otro. Ah, no, yo le digo cómo es, ustedes me conocen ya.
TBL fans, the winner of round 16 by weight of split decision. From Las Vegas, Jaire Ruiz.
Increíble, que andaba corriendo como una gallina, se lo dan. ¿Y qué vaina es? Yo no entiendo, no entiendo. Sinceramente.
Un verdadero nunca deja de creer. Yeah. Boxeo. JuanSabeloTodoUniverso. La campana suena, termina el combate, pero el nombre queda, nadie lo borra, late. En cada historia, en cada campeón. JuanSabeloTodoUniverso. Vive en el ring. Vive la canción. Yeah. Boxeo. JuanSabeloTodoUniverso. Luces bajas, el ring encendido. Se siente el peso de lo vivido. Esta noche es pelea, la arena va a temblar. Dos esquinas listas, nadie se va a rajar. Guantes al aire, se siente la tensión. Es guerra en el ring, pura determinación. Desde la campana suena el primer round. Golpes como truenos retumbando en el ground. Sangre, sudor, respeto en cada acción. Orgullo en juego, corazón de campeón. Respira hondo, siente el tambor. Late más fuerte dentro del corazón. No hay vuelta atrás, no hay condición. Aquí se prueba quién tiene valor. Esto no es un juego, esto es boxeo real, donde el alma grita y no existe lo normal. Golpe tras golpe rompiendo el dolor, cayendo y subiendo con fuego interior. Esto no es un juego, esto es una lucha sin fin, donde el miedo muere cuando entras al ring. Sudor en la frente, mirada feroz, solo uno se queda escuchando la voz de la gloria eterna, llamando tu nombre, dejando tu historia grabada en los hombres. JuanSabeloTodoUniverso presente en la acción, sintiendo cada golpe dentro del corazón. Round tras round la historia se escribe, cada golpe dado es prueba de lo que vive. Caer y levantarse, esa es la misión. El ring decide quién tiene el corazón.
11-7 after the middle rounds. Dave Bontempo and Al Bernstein with you, and we had quite a story unfold over both the launch and the middle rounds in this contest.
Yeah, you know, in the middle rounds, there were 3 split decisions. They all went the way of Las Vegas, and when you add in the knockdown during the middle rounds for Las Vegas, it added up to a big swing for them.
All right, let's take a look at the highlights and see how we got here.
Vamos a ver
it started off early with Miss Automatic, Erica Sanchez. Terrific body punching display. A ruthless offensive outburst against a game Jordan Edwards, but Erica Sanchez putting LA up early.
And then in round 7, trying to change what had been a loss previously to Angel Munoz, Deslan Gainza instead found himself knocked down by Munoz during the round. And Munoz, his kryptonite, he gets another win, a 2-point win over Gainza.
We talked at the top about the strength of the women for the LA team. You saw Sanchez, and then there would be more, as Erica Farias would end up with a double against Joanna Noamaru, tight to the wire, but it is a point for LA and a double for her.
And in round number 13, two perennial 154-pound contenders who never faced each other outside of TBL got into the ring against each other. And Ardrell Holmes, not a knockout puncher, but he got a knockdown against Terrell Gachet and got a 2-point win for Las Vegas. And that was a big part of that turnaround in the middle rounds.
All right, so Vegas doing it with some good depth. LA hanging in there primarily with their women, and Erika Sanchez has been a big story for her, so much that we're going to make it around to watch.
Yeah, you know, back in her interview, she mentioned it was going to be interesting to fight Florencio Britos. Britos and Sanchez will get together in round 20, and this is pretty interesting because both women come in off a victory tonight, and when we get down to that point, that match could have some serious impact.
Still a game. 11-7. Vegas, let's go inside now for the money rounds.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to begin the money rounds between the LA Elite and Las Vegas Hustle. Round 17 at bantamweight. LA Elena Manduanu. Las Vegas Natalia Castañeda.
Right, so Manduanu had an aggressive offensive performance in the first fight with Castaneda. Walked into a big shot at the end of that round, stayed up, but lost the decision. First fight of the night looked like to be a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, we kind of circle that one when we think of, we look at the end of this this evening, because that is a decision that might have gone the other way, but Castaneda got it, and now the question is, can Bandiano change that dynamic?
Yeah, Vegas has been on a run. Remember, LA led after the launch rounds, and Vegas with a run in the middle, including the 3 split decisions that Al referenced. So now, not only does Manduano want to be a top fighter, now she's in a leadership role here.
Yeah, you know, she needs to, the women for LA, of course, are very, very good, and they're continuing tonight to be very good. But now, Manduano, who isn't always mentioned as the top one, you're right, needs to be kind of a leader here and change the dynamic. She lands a nice left hook and some good body work there. And Castaneda, who's a good combination puncher, looking to kind of land some shots straight up the middle.
We mentioned Sanchez as the round to watch. Sophia is with her opponent, Florencia Britos. Go ahead.
Thanks, guys. I am joined by Las Vegas Hustlers' Florencia Britos. You had an incredible round in number 9 against Lizette Lopez. How motivating is it to win against someone who is on a winning streak? Because just like her, you are chasing a winning streak yourself.
It's a great motivation for me, especially because we are both veterans in TBL, I'm sorry. We've been here since season 1. After 3 years, we see each other again. So this is great, and I hope we can see each other again.
Now, you are very calm and collected, and you are going to be facing Erika next. How do you stay relaxed before getting into the ring again?
I do this every day, so there is no time or space to be nervous about this. I do this every day, so I just got to show what I do every day and stay disciplined with it.
All right, in the meantime, we've seen the Castaneda.
Yeah, she surprises Manduano by sending her down, and a big development here.
Remember, she hit her at the end of the first round with a shot, and you know, Manduano stayed up with that one, but here all the way down in bonus points for a hot Vegas team.
Yeah, Castaneda, you know, came into this competition 4-3. She had been solid this season. Now the question is, can Manduano,
otra
who
trompada
has
en la
scored a
cara otra
knockout
vez,
herself
otra
this year,
trompada en la
who
cara,
counted out,
otra más.
or can she
Ahora
fight lightning in
Maldonado
the
le está
bottom
dando a
here? She's
ella.
landing some big power punches.
So Vegas on the verge of a 6-point lead in a fight that they trailed after the launch rounds. This has been quite a run.
The onus was on, I think, a little bit on Las Vegas women. Wow, what a beautiful right hook Castaneda landed. And that was, the right hook was what hurt Manduano in their first encounter. That one was perfect. And, you know, the onus was on the Las Vegas women to produce tonight, and they've done that to an extent. Castaneda now twice.
Beautiful, subtle move before she landed that right hook.
Vince, the winner of round 17 by way of unanimous decision. 2 points going to the Las Vegas Hustles, Natalia Castaneda. The score, Las Vegas 13, Los Angeles 7. Round 18 at middleweight, LA, Terrell Gachet. Las Vegas, Adriel Holmes Jr.
So if you thought that was an unlikely source of bonus points for Vegas, here's another one. Coming up is Adriel Holmes. Got that back in fight number 7.
Yeah, scoring a knockdown of Gachet, and that isn't his strong suit in life. He's a slick boxer, but and was winning that round, I think, against Gachet. But the knockdown added the points. Now let's see if Terrell Gachet, who's got a good right hand, let's see if he can try and return the favor to Holmes.
Now, they've been able to maintain their adrenaline. Actually fought back in round 13, so here they are in the money rounds. Not too much time has elapsed.
Yeah, it's a fairly quick turnaround for them.
You have to be exultant if you're in that Las Vegas corral. These are the type of things that mega brawl contending teams do. They start to string it together.
Yeah, and that knockdown added to it. You know, I mentioned the onus on the women of Las Vegas to go a little backwards. They didn't expect to win more of the matches. They just needed a couple. Oh my, another knockout.
Otro knockout, mi gente.
That's intriguing.
Yo ni lo vi eso.
2 for the guy that's not the knockdown artist.
That's amazing. I didn't have that on my bingo card. And Holmes is really ripping some pretty good shots.
Emboldened by the power display.
Está pegando muy buena trompada.
But smart enough to move.
100%. Adriel Holmes, he gets it. I mean, he said, okay, I got a knockdown. I'm going to beat Adriel Holmes, the slick boxer, for the rest of this round. And he probably will be.
Gachet trying to track him.
You know, Gachet has looked a little bit out of sorts here tonight. You know, not able to quite put together. We mentioned he had fought for the middleweight title only a couple years ago. He's been pretty active, but not super active. And Holmes has been a little more active outside of TBL than him. And I'll tell you, this is Adriel Holmes at his best. When what made him a top 154-pounder is the quick hands, combination punching. And here Gachet's trying to make something happen. He's ripping away with Holmes on the ropes.
And Holmes was looking to the referee for intervention, getting hit.
Yeah, the ref was right in letting Gachet work.
Yeah, he was in the middle of a sequence.
Oh, beautiful right. Gachet's right hand, I mentioned, he knocked Tim Tszyu down with it. He's got a good one. He's landed a couple nice ones here. But the clock is not on his side.
So go figure, when you look at Gachet putting all this pressure on in the final minute, who'd have thunk it that he was the one who was down?
For Adriel Holmes to score 2 knockdowns tonight is a surprise. And it's not, the first one certainly was, you know, just from off balance. Let's take a look at this one. Well, honestly, that one, you know, the right hand kind of pushed him down. And Gachet may have an argument here. There's the right hand from Gachet toward the end of the round, and he landed a couple of good ones. So both knockdowns by Holmes were, you know, on the borderline, but they count.
TBL fans, the winner of round 18 by way of unanimous decision. 2 points going to the Las Vegas Hustles, Adriel Holmes Jr. The score, Las Vegas 15, Los Angeles 7.
So after 3 splits in the middle rounds, Vegas has 2 knockdowns to start the money rounds.
Lopez, Las Vegas, Reiner Diaz Salgado.
If you're LA, you're just looking for anything to stop this onslaught here.
Yeah, and Osvaldo Lopez, who fought pretty well in their first match with Salgado, but Salgado, you know, in the last minute of it especially, was very, very effective.
Look at Salgado up to 5 wins in a row. Remember, it was 2-10. He can come all the way back to 500 if he wins this one.
Yeah, and it speaks very much to what you said about how fighters just need to ignite that in TBL. And you see a lot of really good fighters with records that aren't great in TBL because they just, you know, they're working their way through the format and face competition that you don't pick them, they're put in front of you. So it's easy to all of a sudden have a record you don't love, and then, you know, you persevere and you get a better record.
And in this format, if you win 60%, you're really an asset for your team.
100%, yeah, absolutely. It's not like regular boxing. Good, like other pro boxing. A good straight left hand by Salgado. His edge and hand speed here against Lopez is one of the big issues, I think, in this fight. And Lopez is a good attacker who comes in and has some good power punches, but Salgado's a very slick guy in there.
Right now, he's feeling it. He's really in the groove with the lateral movement, the hand speed, moving in and out. Timing has been perfect for him. And Lopez continues to stalk, trying to throw him off. And there's like a throwing a I'm leaving town jab, and he still gets it in.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. Lopez very much trying to cut the ring off, and that's hard against Salgado. Nice right hand by Lopez. He was able to sneak that one in.
He'll try to get close enough to throw the lead right hand here. And pays for it because he gets drilled down the middle with a good stiff left hand. Salgado is not missing anything tonight. Each opportunity he's following through.
Yeah, you know, he's been a little economical with his punches. Not super economical, but nice. There's the right hand getting in by Lopez. But when he throws, it's with accuracy and good intent.
So it is Lopez, the stalker, and Salgado, the lateral movement and the timely punching. Could get himself all the way back to 500 in a run that began late last year.
It is very likely that Salgado has moved to 8-1 for this season, which is really pretty extraordinary. And we look back at some of the work he did in the last round. There's the jab that's been ever present for him. And that combination that he landed. Lopez was able to get the right hand in, and that was a good weapon for him occasionally in that round, but I doubt that there were enough of them for him to get the win in this fight.
TBL fans, the winner of round 19 by way of unanimous decision. From the Las Vegas Hustle, Reiner Diaz Salgado.
Reiner Salgado all square with this beautiful run now. And Vegas
Round 20 at featherweight.
has made that LA corral go silent.
Las Vegas, Florencia Britos.
Right, so Britos and Sanchez, we heard from both. And this is our round to watch.
Good clash of styles. We know Sanchez is going to come forward. She's aggressive. And Britos, a very technically sound fighter who will try to make her pay as she comes forward.
Take a look at the power rankings, and Sanchez all the way up to 12 points. Right behind Ellis and Contreras right there. That is a loaded group.
Yeah, and she just doesn't lose. Erika Sanchez wins every time out this season. And since she came down in weight, she has been unstoppable.
Now, as where she was able to walk through in her previous fight with those punitive left hooks, stylistically it's a little different, so she's trying to do it with the right hand here.
Yeah, against the lefty before, and now, you know, now she's doing it slightly differently. Well, no, Edwards was already, I'm sorry, so this is similar in that respect. Britos certainly is a more capable counterpuncher, and that's giving Sanchez something to think about as she comes in here.
Yeah, she has shown her a little bit of respect. And good reason. There's a jab to face her. And a good right hand over the top by Britos.
And you see there in that sequence, when Sanchez wades in and tries to go to the body, Britos countering well off the ropes. So this is a different kettle of fish for Sanchez. She's done some good work, but it's been more difficult.
And she uses a different weapon in this one. Looking for the right hand against the southpaw style here. And you see, overcoming a little bit of a height and reach disadvantage. The battering ram syndrome helped her in her first fight. She has to do something a little bit more subtle here.
Well, Britos is a better counterpuncher, and Britos has done some good work counterpunching, and there's that body work by Sanchez. But when she does it, she sometimes gets hit with some counterpunches by Britos.
And that's the step up in opposition for her. That yeah, there's a price to pay. Harder to get those shots in. You get a good example of the skills of both fighters. Why this has been a round to watch, and all three of our rounds to watch have been excellent tonight. Two of them gave us knockdowns.
Well, that was a fascinating round of boxing and a fun one to watch. And it's funny, in her interview, you know, Sanchez mentioned that she was intrigued to fight her. That's the good body work on the inside by Sanchez. But when you're on the inside, you can get hit with an uppercut like that. And she even shook her head like, you know, man, how did I let that happen? So the counterpunching of Britos, the aggression of Sanchez, we'll see.
TBO fans, the winner of round 20 by way of split decision. From Las Vegas, Florencia Britos.
First loss for Erika Sanchez, and
TBL fans, if you're watching these athletes,
Coach can't believe it, but guess what? It was a terrific fight, and it's been a terrific night for Las Vegas. The hustle down on the strip, but they are taking apart their opponents tonight. Back with more after this.
Yeah. Boxeo. JuanSabeloTodoUniverso. Yeah. Luces bajas, el ring encendido. Se siente el peso de lo vivido. Esta noche pelea, la arena va a temblar. Dos esquinas listas, nadie se va a rajar. Guantes al aire, se siente la tensión. Es guerra en el ring, pura determinación.
Las Vegas, Darian Castro.
That's of Castro and Chalet. Saw this one earlier.
Yeah, Castro sent Chalet back down to a 300 or a 500 record at 3-3 this season, and it was a good effort by Chalet, but Castro just had better hand speed, and especially in the last minute of the round, he put together a better offense.
We're seeing teams go on some magically big runs week to week in this league. You remember now with the LA Elite, they won 13 in a row against Dallas. They had a 20-0 lead. They had a lead here after the launch rounds. And here's a Vegas team that they almost beat back in week 1. Now putting up a run like this with no knockouts, just a string of wins and some couple knockdowns thrown in.
Yeah, you could have made the case after those, after the launch rounds that LA was on the verge of really starting to take control of the match. But it just turned out completely the opposite, especially given what they had come off of against Dallas.
Right, you see the launch rounds in Dallas where they swept the launch rounds, which is very unusual, and then come in here and take a top team and beat them in the launch round. So, yeah, very much they could be on their way, but a testament to this Vegas team that not even their big names have stepped up here.
Yeah, it's a very good point. And the women have split with LA, the women of Las Vegas. That's good enough for them because splitting with the women of LA was kind of the mission statement. They didn't need to win all those fights. Here's Castro showing us his combination. But Chalet has landed some good right hands, some good countering right hands, but you know, the problem is he hasn't been able to do as much offensive work as Castro.
And really what you appreciate watching him twice in one night, the movement after he punches to his right.
Yes.
It is so subtle and quick. All of a sudden, he has a different launch point, and it took him no time to get there.
You feel like watching these lefties with these Cuban lefties with Las Vegas, you feel like it's rinse, wash, and repeat. You're watching not exactly the same, but they're similar, and they all have similar skills. And man, they're quick. Look at Castro with these combinations.
And when you move to the side, there usually you'd figure a little bit of reload time, but they are blowing past the reload time.
That's a great point. That's a great point. But Chalet still attacking, trying to make it happen, but Castro, who has been known to be effusive in his shows of personality, happy. And look at the hand speed of Castro in real time. He's just, you know, ripping those punches. Chalet sneaking in a right hand. He did that from time to time, and another sequence with Castro just blasting away with those combinations. It's hard to get offense going because Castro's offense is blinding.
He's 4 or 5 inches away from where he just was, and he's launching another set of attack right on behind the first one.
21 by way of unanimous decision. From the Las Vegas hustle, Darian Castro.
All right, so it continues to be the Vegas show.
22 at featherweight.
In the money rounds.
Lopez. Las Vegas, Jordan Edwards.
And this is a fight in which LA will be significantly favored to stop the run.
And
Lopez.
They have not won a round since round 11, which is pretty extraordinary.
Erica Farias back in round 11. And here we are in round 22, the 10 in a row by Vegas. Again, some of these teams. And if you can rip off a double-digit run in what's a 24-round format, you'll figure you're going to win every time.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that'll do it for you. Now, Jordan Edwards, who had to be on her bicycle, or was, against Erica Sanchez, coming forward against Lopez, who is a slightly different kind of fighter. Now, she pays for it with a left hand landing by Lopez, but she feels she has at least a chance to come forward because Lopez is more of a boxer puncher.
And this is Edwards' natural style. This is what she brought over from other disciplines. But yeah, but when you walk straight ahead, well, all of a sudden the body is wide open for Lopez. And her sense of timing is there.
Yeah, Lopez is a very skilled boxer puncher. That's what she does.
Good right hook by Lopez. We talk about being a TBL original. There's just a sense of comfort about when I step it up, how much I have to step it up. I don't have to always rush in. I need sustained volleys and then let it settle and then try to go in again.
Yeah, when you've put together 35 wins in TBL, you know you've got it pretty well figured out. And there's that good combination work by Lopez, working downstairs and upstairs. Jordan Edwards has shown us great toughness in this season of, as she tries to improve herself as a boxer and is facing tough competition. She's always been tough in there and hung in and done some good work on her own, but just hasn't quite been enough. And now here against yet another elite fighter in this division. Had good moments early, but now Lopez is taking control.
And she had a win earlier this year against Leanne Calderon. Came back, got the knack of fighting well in the final minute of all of her fights, and then one time she got over the top with it. But it's not easy. Talent in this league is very good, and in this division, it's extraordinary.
And Lopez, after early on facing some difficult moments in the offense of Edwards, now in the last 2 minutes of this round has really taken control. And she looks like she's marching on to her 11th win of the season.
Yeah. And Edwards did everything she could, but there's too much Lopez to the body.
Double right hooks by Lopez as well, getting in, and very impressive effort by him.
TBL fans, the winner of round 22 by way of unanimous decision. From LA, Lizette Lopez.
LA continues to showcase
Our
its
penultimate money round will be in the
strong point here, the women.
LA, Angel Lozano. Las Vegas, your Chandler Martinez.
Rematch of round 14. Won by Martinez over Lozano.
And we saw that win from LA, and of course they've got 2 more chances to try and get some points. These are matches are important because they mean something. And, you know, as LA shoots for still a playoff berth, the point totals are important. So these are not meaningless.
No, they matter. The first tiebreaker is head-to-head. And if you face against a team which you haven't faced, or in case of a division, you've got an even record, then you go to the points. And LA is in one of the teams in very good shape in the tie-break department.
And part of that was because they put up 30 points against the Dallas Enforcers.
So Martinez has gotten up there to number 2 in this division and has 2 wins over the guy at the top of that list, Jesse Hart.
Yeah, that's pretty extraordinary. They may meet again in the playoffs, huh?
Well, more than likely, huh?
Yeah, it's a very good possibility.
And actually, it is really interesting as we follow it and watch the teams evolve, how the fighters mature, and then we start anticipating a lot of matchups. Not just our round to watch, but a few.
Yeah, once you get to playoffs, there's almost every round there's a round to watch. Martinez is he's a fascinating fighter. He doesn't, there you see the great combination punching and the hand speed. He doesn't do it just for the sake of it. He does it, and that you can make a case for a lot of the Vegas fighters. And then you mentioned it about Salgado. They throw those combinations when they think they're going to land them. They don't just do it for show. And Lozano, you know, he's a workmanlike guy, and he's trying. I mean, he's had a, you know, not the most successful campaign this year in TBL, but he's a lunch pail guy. He brings it every time. He pushes the offensive envelope for himself and is able to sometimes break through, but not always against the elite fighters.
You could say in a way that that type of scenario is the spirit of the league. You always have another chance next week if you go to work. Another opportunity, help your team. And Martinez, we've seen him after the wins over Hart twice in one outing, that just propelled his confidence.
You see Lozano, you know, he's in this last 25-second sequence, he's done some good offensive work, but some of it blocked by Martinez, and Martinez inevitably will probably have something dramatic for the final seconds of this round.
And good body shot there by Martinez. And Lozano didn't let it all hang out in this round, gave himself a better chance.
Yes. You got to respect him for what he does in there. And Martinez not anxious to be amiable at this moment. And Lozano took a big left hand from Martinez. That's where they had the cranky moments on the inside, and probably why Martinez wasn't anxious to have a kumbaya moment afterwards. And Lozano jawing with him. So it was a little contentious during the round and a little bit contentious afterwards as well.
Elbows and shoulders on the inside. No point deduction. Didn't happen.
That man likely got 2 wins here tonight. And is going to have 10 for the season.
TBL fans, the winner of round 23 by way of split decision. From LA, Angel
interesting.
Lozano.
All right. I stand corrected.
They brought the LA bench up.
Our final money round will be in the heavyweight division. LA, Patrick Meliadon. Las Vegas, Jairek Ruiz.
Jairek Ruiz mentioned his hot streak. He's been a real solid, another under-the-radar performer.
Yeah. By the way, congratulations to Angel Lozano. First win of the season for him. So,
way to go. Way to go against a guy committed tonight 8-1.
Yeah, Ruiz got the nod in a split decision against Rice before, and now he's in against Milata. A different kind of fighter. Milata more of a come forward, I'm going to crank up some hooks and go after you. And interesting, Ruiz not on his bicycle like he was at the beginning of the Rice fight.
That's always stories and subplots within stories. Take a look at that score. 18-9. Vegas still has a chance to hold now its fourth straight team under 10 points if they can win this match.
Lo van a poner a correr sin la lona ahora mismo. Te lo estoy diciendo. Te lo estoy diciendo que lo van a poner a correr en la lona a puerta de gallina.
Milata has been fighting well on his comeback tour. Go for about a year, then we saw him return.
As you pointed out, LA looking for a heavyweight that will, if they get into the playoffs, it can make a big difference for them.
But the heavyweight is one of those divisions, and then you're looking at Vegas has Kai Brooks not here tonight. Ruiz now. Luis Ortiz for Miami is a major threat.
Skylar Lacey, who does it a different way.
Yeah.
Milata really trying to get on the inside where he can land those big power punches. Ruiz showed his combination punching a moment ago, and oh boy.
And a point maybe taken away. Hitting on the break, and it was flagrant.
Not quite what they needed, LA.
And coming from a veteran, a little surprising.
He feels like Ruiz initiated some of that, and that's why he's distressed. But they're both animated and going after it.
Oh, and
he did it again. Oh,
and guess what? He's disqualified. Yes. He goes, but the point we were about to make before we were so rudely interrupted was that he disobeying the referee right in front of the referee. So the referee felt that he was in insubordination here. So the disqualification, A, will give 4 points to Vegas. B, help them keep another opponent under 10 points. And you know what? You don't know how much rope the referee will give you.
We take a look at it. Now he's trying to break the two. Yeah, I mean, the problem is there, whatever Ruiz was doing at that point, Milata just was asking for trouble.
And actually that first shot could have resulted in an injury. That ended up landing flush.
And here we are back live where things have gotten very, very heated. Referee pushing Ruiz away, and this is quite a scene where the two teams are trying to keep things quiet if they can. A very difficult moment.
As if they brought in fighters to make peace.
Yeah, we hope to make peace.
Yeah, it looked like they were having some success there as they jumped in quick from both sides.
Yeah, there was a lot of tension at the end of that fight, obviously.
No fuimos pa' fútbol, mi gente.
Points and the disqualification and hitting on the break.
And yeah, they had to be called. Those infractions had to be called.
It's hard to not call them. Yeah, when you look at him, Milata was guilty of hitting after the break. Whatever his frustrations were, the referee was clearly in the middle of them.
And what usually happens, what we've seen, is if it's something that it's thrown after and doesn't land, and maybe it looks like you misinterpreted a signal, you might get a warning. But And there was a warning. Then there was a point.
Yeah, still tensions there at ringside.
Primera vez que yo boto la gamutería.
Some jawing going on between the two teams. Yeah, you and I have seen a lot of boxing and announced a lot of boxing, and the way you just explained it is perfect.
So for Las Vegas, it is going to be another monumental win, holding another team under 10. So Vegas will go to 6-1, and LA still wants one more to get into the playoffs. Big run for the home team. We'll be back for more right after this.
Todavía me estoy riendo yo de eso que pasó ahí.
Esto no es un juego, esto es lucha sin fin, donde el miedo muere cuando entras al ring. Sudor en la frente, mirada feroz, solo uno se queda escuchando la voz de la gloria eterna llamando tu nombre, dejando tu historia grabada en los hombres. Juan Sabelo, todo deporte presente en la acción, sintiendo cada golpe dentro del corazón. En la lona o de pie se define quién eres, no fuerza solamente lo que tú quieres. Dolor en el cuerpo, pero firme la fe, el campeón verdadero nunca deja de creer. Yeah. Boxeo, Juan Sabelo todo deportes. La campana suena, termina el combate, pero el nombre queda, nadie lo borra, late en cada historia, en cada campeón. Juan Sabelo todo deportes. Vive en el ring, vive la canción. Yeah, boxeo, Juan Sabelo todo.
And did it again. In round 18, two 154-pound contenders. Holmes certainly not known as a knockout person or knockdown person. He surprised everyone by sending Gachet down twice in each of the encounters they had, and created 4 points for his team.
We called that a round to watch going in, and part of it was the names and how are they going to match up, and it ended up being an extraordinary performance by him, and a theme for Vegas with the unsung heroes came up really big.
Yeah, it wasn't just the people that we expected to see. Natalie Castaneda, for instance, scoring a knockdown in one of her fights and winning both of her fights because we know the LA women were a strong point coming in, and she was able to get the job done. And it was an extraordinary performance throughout the roster for Las Vegas.
All right, so Las Vegas, it's not just that they're winning, it's how they're winning. Let's go inside to Ray Flores and pick up on the honor rolls.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Burns Arena here in St. George, Utah, your final score, the Las Vegas Hustle 22, the LA Elite 9. Here are your 3 stars of the fight. The number 3 star from the LA Elite Super Welterweight, Angela Munoz. Number 2 star, Las Vegas also bantamweight, Natalia Castañeda.
Natalia pasa
Balance of Nature, number 1 star, Las Vegas also middleweight, Adriel Holmes Jr. Round of the night, round number 14, Angel Lozano and your Chandler Martinez.
All right, Coach Cooper, Coach Dewey, what a night. You guys came out on top with a new addition in Andriel this season. How do you keep the momentum going as we get to that playoffs?
Well, first of all, I want to say today is a day of empathy, love, and humanity and humane. Today is Juneteenth, so I want to say happy Juneteenth to everyone in the world, especially in America who celebrate Juneteenth. That's first and foremost. Guys, this was an incredible fight. It's always a battle when 2 West Coast Goliaths battle. The Los Angeles Elite is a very elite team, class organization. We love all those guys. Tonight was our night. Our plan was to defeat the Elite, and we did just that. We're really proud of our new addition. That good old-fashioned Midwest boxing never lets us down. It was a great night of fights, man. A lot of people don't know, I'm Patrick Malata's coach in traditional boxing, so we love all the guys in LA, Las Vegas, LA, and it's all love. I hope you guys enjoyed your night tonight. Las Vegas, we were undefeated last year. We gave it up in the Final Four. We coming to take it all, right, Coach David?
Sure, yes, sir. We definitely coming to take it all.
Well, congrats, you guys. Now I'm going to go to the number 2 star of the night, Natalia. An incredible performance. You started the night off for us, and you kept that momentum going in round 17. What adjustments did you make to make sure you got your opponent down in that last round?
Well, I just had to make sure that my punches were more straight and that I was moving my head a little more. But props to my opponent. She was a great fight. Yeah.
Congrats on the win. Now I'm going to chat to your teammate who won the number 1 star of the night now, Andriel. You didn't just knock out a former Olympian, former world title contender, not once, but twice. What adjustments have you made this season to blossom into the fighter that you are right now?
Well, I gotta thank my Heavenly Father first and foremost. But just listening to my team. These some great guys. They've been around the game for a long time, so I just followed the game plan.
Well, congrats on the win tonight to all of you. We're going to send it back to you guys.
Okay, thank you. Good night all around and a great night for that Vegas team. As we take a look at them, they have done a great work tonight. Phoenix and Atlanta, the next up in the TBL schedule. Phoenix is Raiko Santana.
Bueno, mi gente, con eso ya saben que traemos esto a un final. Ustedes están viendo, fue una noche de cartelera tremenda. Yo me le dormí a ustedes un par de veces, pero los quiero mucho y gracias por su visita. Y espero que dejen comentarios si vienen a ver esto después que ya ha sido grabado y que la pasen buena. Cuídense.